Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. So today I want to talk about a very important topic, and it's how to stop taking things personally. And the reason why I want to address this in this video is because it is something that I have struggled with in the past, and I know it's not nice. And for me, there is one thing I learned that has completely changed everything. Like, it's really gonna change the way you think about people who talk badly to you, or it just gives you a completely different perspective. And this video, I really want to address it to all those people who take things personally all the time. Like, if someone says something that stings, or they judge you, or they do something and you start questioning yourself immediately, you're just like, it's my fault, or I'm so bad, what did I do, this kind of stuff. And that's who I want to address this video to. So the thing I want to talk about today, it's called the mirror theory, or the mirror principle. So it's a term in psychology that explains that most of the time people's reactions to you, or their actions to you, or what they say to you, are actually a reflection of how they're feeling. So it really reflects like their own insecurities, their own fears, or even their hopes, because it can even be in like a good way that they react to you. But every reaction is actually a reflection of ourselves. So let's say, for example, you decided to give priority to one of your own projects. So someone asks you to do something and you're like, no, sorry, I'm working on my project right now, I want to focus on myself for now. And they tell you like, oh my gosh, you're so selfish. You could take this personally and take this wrong and be like, oh my gosh, why are they saying this? And start questioning yourself, like, am I really selfish? But actually, instead of thinking this way, try to think in the other person's perspective. It could be that the reason they reacted this way, or the reason they said this, is because actually it reflects their own struggle with putting themselves first. So when they see that like someone is doing what they cannot do, they're a bit frustrated. And that can make them react this way. Or let's say a completely different example. Like, you're a girl and you see another girl walking by with like a short skirt, or some clothes that might be, for example, really revealing, or whatever it is, and you see that girl passing by and you start judging her, like, oh my god, look at what she's wearing, that's so inappropriate. It could actually be a reflection of yourself. It could maybe be an explanation that you would like to wear this clothes, but for some reason you can't, because maybe you feel insecure about your body, or you feel like it wouldn't look good on you. And so that frustration is going to come out this way, like judging someone else. Because, I mean, if I see someone walking in front of me with like some short skirt, for example, I'm like, good for you, like, you do you, I do me. Why do you feel the need to criticize that person? You should start questioning yourself. So that's why this mirror theory is really interesting to analyze and understand people's reaction, but also really important to understand your own reaction. Because most of the time, negative reactions and even positive reactions, they are triggered by something, because otherwise you just wouldn't care, you wouldn't mind. Because in that example, as I said, if I see someone walking by, I'll be like, oh, you look good, your hair is nice. But if I have some built up like frustration in me, then my instinct might be to criticize, judging, because I have this frustration inside of me, or this insecurity inside of me. So as I said, this mirror theory can be applied to analyze other people's reactions, but also your own reactions. But what I do want to say is that it's not only used for negative reactions, because now I mainly used example like insecurities, or fears, or just like this kind of negative feeling that people have inside. But it can actually also be used in a good way. Like, let's say, for example, someone comes to you and they're really complimenting you, like, wow, you really inspire me, you're really hardworking, like, wow, you look really amazing. And it can actually reflect their own hopes. For example, they really admire you, they wish they can be like this, like, you're really someone they look up to, for example, because it shows that hope inside of them when they're like giving you those kind of compliments. So the mirror theory can really be used in a really broad perspective. Like I said, for negative or positive reactions, it can be used to analyze other people's reactions. It can be used to analyze your reactions. So honestly, this mirror theory, it's really, really interesting. And if that's something that interests you, I really invite you to look it up. There's a lot of resources online that can explain a lot more if you're interested in learning more in detail. But basically, what I explained to you is really the main principle, and I feel like that's the thing that if you start understanding it and you start applying it in your life, it starts making so much sense. Because like I said, when you start understanding why people are reacting a certain way, why they're saying certain things to you, you stop taking things personally, and you stop feeling bad, because you realize it's not about you. You know, it's really not about you. It's about them. And you even start feeling bad for your person. And I'm not saying this in a condescending way. It's literally, you realize that they're also struggling with things. And it's not because they reacted this way or they said this thing that it makes them a bad person. Because it's not. Like I said, they are struggling with their own fears, their own insecurities, their own frustrations. So it really helps you to see people as human beings and understand their reaction, and really understanding that it has nothing to do about you. It has nothing to do with you. You're not like the center of the world. Even those people, they probably won't know that it's about their own insecurities or their own frustrations, etc. So really, don't try to like get angry at that person or get into a fight or get like all like enemy or this kind of vibe, because as I said, it's really not about you actually. So that's really the biggest message I wanted to say today. And yeah, I hope it helps some people understand a little bit better the mirror theory, and also that it can help people to stop taking things so personally. For me personally, it really helped. It really, really helped, because as I said, now I start to really try to understand the other people more, and realizing that it's not always about me. We are not the center of the world. The world doesn't revolve around us. Everyone's struggling with their own lives, their own insecurities. So just try to understand and move on. So yeah, when you realize that their words are a reflection of their own world, you really start to have more compassion. And I think that's the most important thing, to stop blaming yourself. You really stop carrying other people's baggage as your own, because that's basically what you're doing when you start taking everything personally. And the last part, really, when you realize that you are judging someone, you're talking harshly about someone, just please pause for a minute and reflect. Why am I reacting this way? And honestly, you will also learn a lot about yourself, because most of the time your reactions, as I said in this whole video, it's about you. It's not about them. Like, why are you judging them? What does it say about you? Not what about them. So that's it for today's video. Let me know in the comment what you thought about this theory, if you've ever heard about it, or if there's something that ever happened to you that made you realize that it's not about you actually. I'm really curious to hear about other people's experiences, and I really hope this video was helpful to you. And if you liked it, don't forget to like the video and to subscribe, and I hope I can see you on my next video. See you!